run this for like 30 minutes thereabout, and then it's live. Okay, good evening, Nigerian. This is Vox Edu TV, and this is Dr. Samuel Latunji David again on your screen. Tonight, we will be discussing the maiden edition of our program, Nigeria of My Dream. We shall seek to look at the Nigeria that our young people are dreaming of. And the maiden edition, we will look at how Nigeria arrived at its current socio-political and moral realities, while inspiring citizens to actively participate in rebuilding a nation founded on shared values, responsible leadership, and ethical citizenship. Specifically tonight, we shall be looking at how do we inspire hope by highlighting practical actions every Nigerian can take to contribute to national development. I have with me in the studio tonight our regular co-host, Louis Akuveso. Louis, it's good to have you tonight on the show.
Likewise, it's such an honor to be here. Thank you so very much, sir.
We are going to be speaking about Nigeria of my dream. And as a young under 40, I'm sure tonight we are going to be saying a lot, and I will just be looking and asking you questions. I spoke off camera yesterday that I'm privileged to enjoy a meal ticket of 15 kobo, not naira now, 15 kobo, and I'm privileged to have bought my very first car for 550 naira as a second-hand car, and a brand new. When I left university with 3,000 naira, I brought my brand new Volkswagen 1300. I'm sure that sounds very strange. So,
very strange. It sounds very strange to me.
And then we have in transit also our how do you call him now? Our man, Brother Wisdom.
Brother Wisdom. Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. You know, when you were talking about strange things, I recently discovered that there was a time Nigeria was borrowing World Bank to help with other development countries. I was like, you don't mean it. This same country was borrowing World Bank.
You know, we have a lot to catch up on when we talk about Nigeria. A lot to catch up on. You know, I remember as an undergraduate, and not so far behind, just 1979 here. I remember as an undergraduate, I could go to London and come back. You know, just with my pocket money, not any major savings. 394 naira, you are off return ticket. You are return ticket, and then you are good to go and come back. And so you keep wondering what happened. And then I'm sure that there's opportunity for the youths of nowadays to dream. And then we'll be looking at what are the historical events and policy decisions that have shaped Nigeria's present day realities. I would like to know, did we just happen to show up in this mess? Or were they calculated steps that if any nation takes the same step, we arrive at where we have arrived now? And then when we look at those ones, we will now be interested in, I would like viewers to join us in this conversation tonight, because here tonight we are not going to be looking at the Gen Z, and then a popular saying of this great man, Wole Soyinka, said, "My generation is a wasted generation." I think so too. I think so too. And when it comes from a man that is 92 years old, I think it's correct. I don't know, but so I would like you to hear from those people who are much older than us, and then I would like to also hear from the people whom we are going to leave Nigeria for. So, how am I going to open this stage tonight, Brother Louis? What is the Nigeria of your dream?
Yes, sir. First of all, I think this is one of the most passionate topics I personally am passionate about it, because you know the future is now starting for a lot of the people, for millennials and Gen Zs. So it's a topic that we must always be willing and happy to discuss. I expect a lot of contributions this evening. The Nigeria of my dream is very simple. I wish it was tall 700-story buildings or good roads. No. For me, the Nigeria of my dream is just quite simple, where every Nigerian understands what it means to be a Nigerian. As it is now, sir, I put it to myself that we don't yet know what it is to be a Nigerian. We know what it means to be from Delta State. We know what it means to be Igbo. We know what it means to be Hausa or Yoruba. We know what it means to be a banker in Nigeria. We know what it means to be a real estate person in Nigeria. We know these small sections of microcosms of Nigeria. But what does it mean to be the Nigerian as a whole? We don't know. So I suspect that whenever we are able to establish who we are as Nigerians, every other thing will follow suit. So the Nigeria of my dream is where nobody is confused about their identity and nobody thinks that the subnational identity is higher than the national one. If you meet a Nigerian in Singapore, if you meet a Nigerian in the UK, anywhere you meet a Nigerian, he's a Nigerian. You will be able to know from some things that are prevalent across just the fact that you were born Nigerian. So I wish I could tell you, sir, that the Nigeria of my dream is where maybe we'll be able to travel to the UK on our stipends, or maybe we will now have roads that are properly lined and everybody's obeying traffic, and we have good housing and mortgages that work, and we have a good education system. But for me, it's just even the basics. Let's even understand what does it mean to be a Nigerian. So that's it for me, sir.
Okay, am I still on? Okay, that's a fantastic introduction. And like I said earlier on, tonight I will be listening to you. I'll be asking questions, and then I'll be trying to understand what is the mindset that exists in Nigeria today, because I'm lost. And when an old man as I am is lost, then there is trouble in Nigeria. Brother Wisdom, from where you are, can you give me an opening? What are you expecting in this conversation?
So I think Brother Louis is not so far from it, because one of the things we lack in the conversation about the Nigeria of our dream is we don't even have a national identity. There is nothing that we can say. It's sad that we are not known for the wrong things. When you hear, oh, this is a green passport holder, is a Nigerian, they have to look at you twice because it's either you're a 419, you're a corrupt politician, or you're just a lot of negativity around us being Nigerians. And you look back to, I like to look back at our history, because I hear very fascinating stories that Malaysia came here. Either Malaysia or one of those Asian countries to collect palm nuts. It was Malaysia. They came to collect palm nuts, and now they are one of the largest exporters of palm. Let us make it make sense. When Dubai or the United Arab Emirates recently discovered oil or went into oil, they came to Nigeria to learn from the Ministry of Finance. How do you people manage your resources? And you hear things that they went back and they said, oh, the Nigerian minister was more flamboyant in his office than he was with the work he was supposed to do. So the Nigeria we currently have now is a repercussion of the negligence of the leaders of our forefathers, right? Because the time we were supposed to spend doing nation building is just like when you tell a child between your 1 to 24, or between 1 to 81 to 24, you're supposed to use it to go to school, get as more certifications and everything. So at least by 25, by 23, you're in the job market, you're gradually progressing in your career. Nigeria wasted their 1 to 24, like literally in research. So we are now at the age of, so imagine we're at the age of 60, 67 or whatever. We are always now bringing out policies. Now we are always doing policies, but we've lost the race. We are now behind, but it's not completely lost, right? We need an intentional plan going forward. And if you are asking me, and if I'm going to be honest, the whole idea of one person coming into office today and say, "Oh, I have a 10-point agenda," another person coming in tomorrow. There is no continuity in governance, and it's crazy because it's literally just we're just wasting resources and duplicating effort. So the Nigeria of our dream can only be possible when we start telling ourselves the truth. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the case is now getting very, very interesting because we are now looking for Nigeria of our dream. And
Oh my god.
we are looking for it seriously. It be like Nigeria of our dream, not good travel. Like travel is on the journey. But it's important for us to identify what Nigeria of our dream is. You see, one interesting. I had a conversation yesterday. I mean, was it yesterday or some time back with some fellows around my office? I just said, let's go out and see Vox Populi as we're going to see in subsequent editions. Yeah, but not in this tonight's edition. Now, what is the Nigeria of the dream of my staff, of the people in our community? And one of them said, the Nigeria that I know is the Nigeria my parents showed me. The other one said, the Nigeria that I know is the Nigeria that my religious community showed me, just like Louis was saying. Another one said, the Nigeria that I know is the Nigeria on the streets. But unfortunately for me, I say me there because as a student of history, I know there is a constitution, and Nigerians must be defined by the constitution, not by tribe, not by religion, not by sentiment. We must be, the constitution defines who a Nigerian should be. And the farther away we are from what the constitution defines who a Nigerian should be, the farther away we are going to be from the central definition of who a Nigerian should be. And so I began to tell them, do you know that the constitution defines who a Nigerian should be? Unfortunately, none of our politicians meet that description. And not many of our youth also subscribe to that definition of who like if you're in America, the Americans will say, according to Second Amendment, according to First Amendment. Nobody in America will tell you according to my religion. Nobody will say according to my tribe.
Exactly.
Everybody talks about the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. And here we are in Nigeria. Everybody defines Nigeria of their dream according to the dictates of their tribe, their religious persuasion, or their community where they live in. What do you think is wrong with that, Brother Louis?
Yes, sir. To be honest, what I think is that there is a fundamental. So psychology of money teaches us that there's nobody that is not sensible, right? Everybody is sensible to the extent that they have a reason for how they behave. If I'm in a situation where I have a problem today, and the people that are guiding me or guarding me in that problem is my church people, then there's absolutely nothing that I'm going to be more loyal to my church than to the state that is supposed to provide me, for instance, an ambulance, or for instance, proper or timely delivery of justice. So when the Nigerian state now continues to disappoint on the expectations from the people that are within the country, and the people then have to look for succor in private institutions, in friend group, in church, in the mosque or the Islam community, or they use their power and their might, just like the way they are using currently to bully us on the road. They use their power and might. People will be hungry for power and might. This is a standard operating procedure. So, as a result of, we will keep on looking for the facets that give us the ability to survive until we make that survival a Nigerian thing. Is going to continue degenerating.
Brother Wisdom, before I read to you what the Constitution defines a Nigeria to be, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you, I mean, with your honest Nigerian mind, do you believe we should, like, Louis created an impression that he who plays the piper dictates the tune. So if your subservient community, if your parochial community is the one that is playing the piper for you, is the one that is taking care of you, then naturally you should be more, your loyalty should be to that community. What do you think?
Well, I think with when your state has failed you, right, you take advice from the person that is, or you take refuge in people that are providing for you, quote and unquote. Same thing happens to how do I put it now? So imagine that as a nation, if, for example, something happens, there's an emergency now, there's a national emergency. Don't let even say national emergency. Let's say there is something that happens in your neighborhood or in your household. The first person you're going to think of to call is your friend. Or if there's an emergency, you call your friend. We don't even think to call the 112 national emergency number because we don't believe that help would come from them. We don't even think to call, oh, let's call police. No, let's handle it ourselves. Now, there's a trend on social media of people catching thieves and making them do corporal punishment and dance and a whole lot of things, right? Simply because, I mean, what's the benefit that if I call the police,
That's the thing.
yeah, if I call the police, I will get justice. So when the system has constantly continued to fail you, whichever system that provides a certain level of assurance or security becomes law, becomes the law, becomes the constitution that we know, right? So we don't have, like you said, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. We don't have. There's nothing a Nigerian can hold on to and say, "Oh, because I'm a Nigerian, this would not stand." It is a lie. It is. Do you know who I am? Do you know who my father is? Because we're living in a country, but we are all self-governing. Everybody and his family members have built a government around themselves, around their political economy, around their social currency. So it's not an operation of let me to, like now they oppressed us on the traffic with their siren. Me too, I follow them behind and put on my double trafficator because you cannot come out. I'm not stupid. We're all going somewhere because you are blowing siren. You come and overtake us. I followed.
So we're already doing Vox Populi. You're already on you know, because let me shock you. I want to read for you the 10 foundational national values of Nigeria are primarily drawn from the Nigerian national ethics enshrined in section 23 of the Constitution, integrated with additional core civic and moral principles outlined in the National Ethics and Integrity Policy and Basic Education Standard. Now, I want to read to you the 10 foundational national values of Nigeria. The first one is discipline. Adherence to rule, not jumping the rule. Law and self-control in both private and public life. So you have just broken, the man blowing that siren, I've just broken the first one.
Exactly.
So now,
we haven't even started reading the rules and we have already broken some. It's I don't know.
So the national ethics says you must be disciplined. You must adhere to rules. You must not run upside down. You must not run one way, whether with siren or without siren. So that is in the Constitution, section 23. Can you imagine? And now the second
we are
one,
actually short of words, sir. We don't know what to say because, but we want to hear the other rules so that we can even say, okay, maybe there is one that we are keeping to, because
okay,
it's
so
already not looking good for us.
let's look at the second one. The second one is integrity. Acting in honesty, strong moral principles, and uprightness in all endeavors. How do you say to that one? Are we keeping that one in Nigeria of my dream? And then the third one, dignity of labor. Respecting all types of honest work and believing that genuine effort is the foundation of success. What do you have to say to that one?
Unfortunately, sir, in Nigeria, we know people always say favor over labor. There's that saying in Nigeria. Now, who
So
you know, now go honestly. So it's not hard work. It's unfortunate. This is
you
just
have
the
changed the
reality.
syllabus. You have changed the
No,
syllabus.
no, sir.
Now,
We are just looking at the reality on ground.
look at the fourth one. Social justice. Promoting fairness, equity, and equal opportunity for all citizens. Nobody should blow sirens and overtake somebody else.
As you can see, sir, that one doesn't work. There's nothing like equal opportunity. There's nothing like social justice, especially on the road. So that's it's unfortunate.
Now look at the fifth one, because each of these, before we start to set up new rules, let us check the ones that are on ground and see whether we have kept it, and then let's see how we can work to keep it. Now, religious tolerance. Number 5, religious tolerance. Building genuine capacity, taking personal responsibility, and reducing reliance on shortcuts accepting and respecting the diverse ethnic and religious background of others. That's number 5, religious tolerance. How do you see to that? Religious tolerance.
Unfortunately, and this is my personal opinion, we are so religiously intolerant from small life choices like, okay, it's not a small life choice, but from everyday life choices like marriage, even within the same sect. We are all Christians or we are all Muslims, but because of you are from this side and this side cannot. So we are so religiously intolerant that as a fallout of that, we have to put something about religion inside the budget.
Now wow. Number 6, self-reliance. Building
Recently,
I'm listening.
No, sir, we are listening to number 6. We're still hoping that we'll get one right. Well, let's go to number 6.
Number 6, self-reliance. Building genuine capacity, taking personal responsibility, and reducing reliance on shortcuts or corruption. Number 6.
Unfortunately, sir, we still don't have anyone, because we don't really reduce reliance on shortcuts. We create the avenue for the shortcut to be taken. So it's unfortunate. We are not yet there. We don't have one yet.
I think you guys are making me afraid. I have to take this thing to the streets. Maybe I will have something that will support me, because you are not supporting me at all. I will have to go to the streets.
Saying the truth.
Now, number 7, patriotism. Demonstrating a genuine commitment to Nigeria's well-being, unity, and image above personal or ethnic interests. That means if you say you are a Yoruba before you are a Nigerian, then you have broken number patriotism, number 7. What do you have to say to that? How are we doing in that?
Unfortunately, we are not doing well at all. Again, I'm now even also.
You're already on the street. You're already on the street. Maybe you are going to look for my people that will support me from that your street. Because I'm looking for friends here. Number 8, yes, this one is nice. There is a national unity. That's number 8. Embracing Nigeria's diversity as a collective strength rather than a weakness. I know we are doing well in this one, because when it is time to chop money, whether you are Muslim or Christian, you are Igbo or Hausa, Yoruba or Efik, when we time to chop money, there is national unity. What do you have to say to that?
Well, maybe when it comes to situations of money, we can then say yes. But is outside money, which is where most other things exist. This is not true. So this is not true for other, but maybe we are getting there a little bit when it comes to money. And then what about the people that are secluded? Because if it was that everybody was making money, we won't have poverty rates of over 50%. So what about the people that have been excluded? They're obviously not in on this as well.
But the truth is that we're embracing national unity, no diversity when you are doing. When you go to political parties, you can see everybody are romancing and chopping money together. In the National Assembly, there's collaboration when it is time to pass budget and all those other things. No discrimination. Now,
Very correct, sir.
number 9, human dignity. Treating every person with inherent respect, fairness, and equity, regardless of their status. Brother Wisdom, I would like you to speak to that.
So I think when it comes to fairness and equity, it's not there. What we look at is the size of the person's pocket. We respect people based on what we can get from them. Okay, what we can get from them rather than the how do I put this now? Rather than the normal values around respect. Not recently, the World Cup has taught me something, that over time that Japanese people or the people from Japan are one of the most hygienic and at the same time hospitable. And they've been known for this over time. What have we been known for on the national stage? Nothing. Not even at all. Not at all.
So, I'm afraid the last one here is professionalism. Upholding excellence, accountability, and ethical conduct in one's chosen career. Now, it would have been okay if he had stopped there. He now said, or public rule. So, brother, upholding excellence, accountability, and ethical
Yes, sir.
conduct in one's career or public rule. What do you have to say to that? Like I said, we just read 10 of
Let's
our...
I don't know if we can exclude the public rule, because it's in the public domain that when it comes to excellence in public rule, maybe not yet. We're still getting there. Yes. But for excellence in individual, excellence in private sector, even excellence with Nigerians that have traveled abroad, we can see it. It's clear that whatever anybody that grew up through a proper system can be, Nigerians are capable of being that and more. And I was just speaking to somebody yesterday. Every time, whenever they mention resilience in Nigeria, every time we're resilient. We're always resilient. We're always going through something and coming out. Me, I don't think that's a good, thing to attach. We too, we should also aspire to be soft. But it's a testament to show that when it comes to what the human being can do as a Nigerian, we have tested and surpassed the limits. So private excellence, we are there. But the other side that governs everything, we are still getting there.
So, Nigerians, these 3 gentlemen in the studio today are not... We want to build the Nigeria of our dreams. And now the foundation upon which we are building it is at risk. Because if we have 10 and we score exactly, I don't know what we scored. So what can you say we have scored, Brother Lee?
No,
Huh?
sir, it's very clear. We scored nothing because point 0.5 is nothing. If I score point 0.5 on a test, I should have not taken the test at all. No,
Ha.
let's be factual. Let's, we didn't score anything on the test. It's quite unfortunate. If we are following what the constitution says that we should be as Nigerians, we didn't score
Eh,
up to 1/10. So it's a little distressing. I actually did not know that this existed. So now that I know that it existed, I know that if we are any of these tenses, you don't even have to be all, just be one. Just be that one that they said move with integrity. Just be anyone, you would be a better Nigerian. If everybody is just one, we will have a better Nigeria. But because we are none, that's why we are where we are today.
so now, so so that takes us to why this conversation is very, very important. Do we? So, in your own opinion, do we seek to revive this 10, or do we? I mean, like there was a politician in Edo State in those days. He said, "When I say lucky not do well, you know, I say lucky not do well. Maybe if Pikin not do well, now they say he fail, he go repeat. So let him come back and do additional 4 terms. I mean, that was a way of promoting the second term governor for Lucky Benedion in those days. And I say Lucky not do well. So if we didn't do well in this term, that means we should repeat it and then try and see whether we'll do better in the next time. What do you think? I mean, do we revisit this one and try to see whether we can rejig, or do we throw it away and go and look for a new one? Maybe we'll go and borrow Ghana own or something, or look for one country and just borrow their own. I don't know. So what do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? Because now just they confuse me. Brad's wisdom. I can't see find him. Louis, what's wrong with network this evening? Louis.
Right, sir. Looks like I dropped off I dropped off for a second. I think I had to change internet. So, but I did hear the question whether we should look at this one again or we should go and borrow one from Ghana. Um, definitely we shouldn't go look elsewhere. I do honestly think that these 10 are okay. It's just that not a lot of us know they exist. One, it's so unfortunate that every episode I have to talk about National Orientation Agency. I love them; they are our friends. Um, but again, people have to
By
first
the
of
way,
all
we
know
wrote
about
a
these
letter to
things.
National Election Agency. We are still waiting for their letter. And we're still
So,
waiting. They have not been
so,
oriented to us.
so I really don't know, but I do believe that first of all, let people even know about it. We need to cast that vision. We need to cast National Orientation Agency they are not the president. I can understand they don't have the inner workings, but there is an optics angle that they can help with, and if they can establish that optics angle, then Nigerians are even able, because we are very good self-starters, we are able to say, okay, this is the direction we are going to become the greatest nation in Africa because XYZ, and they can zoom in on that XYZ and start moving. For us to get here, we need to not tell lies. For us to get here, we need to treat our neighbors with respect. For us to get here, we need to. So I think the rules are okay. We just need to paint it in a more beautiful, understandable format for the younger guys that are coming up to understand and imbibe. When you talk about civic education, are they going to teach this in the classrooms for civic education, etc., so forth? So these are some of the things that I think that we can look at in terms of whether we'll keep it or not. I think we should keep it. I think they are good enough.
Okay, you think we should keep it? I think we should keep it too. It took a lot of work, energy to put these ones together, and we can't just discountenance it because they are beautiful. They are the things that build all the nations in the world. And I think if we can imbibe it, it will also build Nigeria. And then maybe we can now begin to replace. For instance, I'm going to ask Brother Louis. This was a question I asked my focal group, the discussion group. Who are you following? Because if you are following all these people that don't believe in Nigeria, then you are likely not going to believe in Nigeria. And then who are we to follow? Because the question then was, who are we to follow? So, Louis, Brother Wisdom, who are you following on Twitter? Who are you following on Facebook? Who are you following? Who is mentoring you to be a better Nigerian?
Sadly, sadly, when we go out on the social media to look for people to follow, we hardly find we find there are Nigerians that are enterprising and are doing a lot. But when it comes to at institutional level, right, we hardly find Nigerians of substance, right? Except mostly the Nigerians you find that are enterprising, that are doing a lot, are usually in the private sector. So, for example, the unicorn founders, the business people, the people that are, directly in charge of their ecosystem, their survival. Those people, they are killing it. It's just sad that the people that are now in charge of the entire nation's ecosystem, down to political appointees, SSAs. Brother Louis is laughing because he knows why I mentioned that. And it's sad because we don't have people of substance that are supposed to be in these offices. Imagine holding an office or being the director of National Orientation Agency, and you're not doing anything to help with the agenda of the nation. You're not doing anything. There's only one agenda that is being pushed, and it's sad. It is very, very sad that on national TV, on you go for forums, you go for political meetings, or you go for government forums and government meetings, and all we hear, we're not hearing, oh, I believe in the Nigeria of this, or I believe in the vision of the nation of our forefathers. Like you would hear them say in America, how you want to become an American. Like you just these people. In short, the flag is so beautiful that you want to even own it. But if we hear what we now see senators wearing, governors wearing is infinity cap. Like what's going on? We hardly we hardly see, like, is that what we came here to do? Are we serving the nation, or we are serving one man? With all due respect to Mr. President and his branch, but the way and manner they push the mandates, that's the same way and manner we should be pushing the Nigerian agenda. That's the same way and manner we should be pushing for a better Nigeria, for a one Nigeria. It sounds very simple, but we don't have that spirit of oneness. We don't have that spirit of due process. We don't have that this sense of urgency. If a Nigerian tells you he's 5 minutes out, just know that it's 20 minutes. He's lying. If he tells you he's on his way, just know he's about to leave his house. Like, we don't even have a public transportation system that keeps to time, because we can't even keep to time. The only time a Nigerian will keep to time is when he has an international flight. And I can bet you, sir, I have witnessed a Nigerian, which happens to be my friend, delay an international flight because he could bribe the people at the Nigerians at the counter $1,000 or so. They were able to somehow circumvent and delay a flight for a small boy. He was a small boy for extra change. So there's only one thing that is common across the economic landscape is money. That's what we understand. That's what keeps everything going. They stop you on the road as road safety, anything to drink, anything for the boys. If you don't have money, they will even be looking at the coke that is in your car. Give us the coke that is it. So it is madness that we don't even respect the uniform. As a public servant, you have, like, do you- sir, I don't know.
Brother Louis,
Yes,
who are,
sir.
give me the name of two people that you are following, and you are following them because they are obeying the core values and national ethics. Two, just two.
No, so for me, I'm following Dangote and I'm following Tony Elumelu.
Okay.
These
because
are
they
two
are
people I'm following. I can name others.
because they you see that they are doing what the Nigeria says they should be doing. It's not because
To a
that they are
large
your
extent.
not because you mentioned two of the richest men in Nigeria. Not that you're following the. We are talking
No,
about the
no.
Nigeria of
So
your dream, where there
So
are
I
poor
told you
people.
that money is what everybody is following. You did not believe me. Say
Follow
now he
the
has
money.
mentioned the
Follow
two
the money.
richest men. Yeah, he has mentioned the two richest men. You see what I'm talking about? But no,
Are you
it's
following them for
money.
their
It's
money or
money.
following them for their money? Tell me why you following them.
It's their money. Oh, their money has value. Their money has value. With the kind of money they have, we have
Eh,
value
you must follow them.
at all.
I agree. Eh?
but sir, so that's why I said, do you want me to mention others? So for example, now, sir, I follow you on social media. I see your tweets.
No, you
I
follow me
follow you on
because
Instagram.
you
I see your
follow
tweets.
you follow me
No,
because
I
you are
get value from your tweets. Sometimes, sir, you may come across something that is useful, to the youth. You might share things. It doesn't even have some things. Sometimes it's just about business. So I follow you too. There are several. I follow my father. I follow a lot of well-meaning Nigerians. So I want
what
to
are your
vehemently
followers?
disagree with wisdom that we don't have upstanding Nigerians in this country.
Because the
Yes,
conversation,
it's the truth.
who you follow is an evidence of your dream. So that's why I'm putting that question.
Exactly.
So who you follow is an evidence, is a pointer to what you are dreaming to become. So if you are following, what is this man that said that they are Malians? If you are a Malian and then you happen to get to government, you
But
behave like
but sir,
one.
let me cut you, sir. Just recently, sir, Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
Yeah.
recently made reference to those same circle of Malians that they should come and fix the nation. That it is their duty to come and help Nigerians.
Because they needed them to define the dream of Nigeria again to be exactly what they represent.
Sir, where did you stop, sir? Where did you stop hearing me, sir? I got interrupted.
You said
That
the first lady invited them to come and fix Nigeria.
Yes, so those people following them now will be like, that means we're following the right people. If the first
No,
lady can call, sir,
can call our group.
yeah, can call our group. Now we are not far from it. They say if you are around five rich men, you did not count where you are the sixth one. So if we are among five musicians,
No, it's not about being a musician. It's not about being a musician. It's about you see, no, when I made reference to Malians, not because it's a matter of for instance, there was a slogan in Nigeria which we also discussed yesterday, no grief for anybody. And I said,
yes,
when I was growing up, we had respect. So if you're somebody senior you will there's an adage in Yoruba land that you just accept because he's your senior, not because he's right. Just accept. But that thing has been thrown away. So if a policeman stop you, you drag uniform with him. I mean, who are you? You bring law, I bring money. You bring this, I bring blue. Everybody we negotiate. Everything can be negotiated, like you said, your friend. But you can stop playing with money. I mean, so that is not grief for anybody. Demand to negotiate. What do you think? Does that mean no grief for anybody means negotiate everything?
sir, you are even going too far, sir. We negotiated a fake agency into the budget, sir.
We negotiate the fake agency to the budget.
Yes, sir. And you know the funny thing, the only reason we are hearing about it is because of this idea of no grief for anybody. Because we've agreed, we had an agreement. You go
uh,
put my name for allocation. We had an agreement. I paid you some money. It's because I refused to pay you the one you asked for. Now the whole world is now hearing about our
Allegedly,
business.
oh.
Alleged, alleged,
Allegedly,
alleged.
oh.
Alleged,
alleged.
alleged. It's alleged. It's alleged. It's alleged. It's alleged. I'm alleging. I'm alleging. I'm
It's
alleged. It's alleged.
alleged. So for me,
Alleged.
I'm thinking
Alleged.
that
Alleged.
I want to see whether we can hold these values as a mirror and then consciously be interrogating who Nigerians are following. The man that the INEC officer that refused to take bribe, I want to know how many followers he has. And then the other one that took bribe, I want to know how many chieftaincy title he collected in his village. The one that break bottle, I want to know how many people follow him. And the other one that did right, how many people follow him. So because that for me is an evidence of the mind of the Nigerians. How many people are following the principal of a school who try to obey these values? How many people are following the politician that chop the money to fix the road and threw a party and gave everybody stomach infrastructure? Let us see how many people are following this one and many people are following that one. So that's where I'm going when I ask the question, who are you following? Because I'm thinking in Nigeria that those people that follow these values don't get followers. What do you think, Brother Louis?
It's quite unfortunate. I would just like to go back to the psychology of money that I earlier mentioned. If it was that when people do the right thing, there are evident rewards that are established as a result, they will have more followers. But it continues to look like, because of our overt, I don't want to call it worshipping of money, but that's really what it is. But because of that overt thought process, that once we have money, we are able to do almost anything in the country, people will follow who has money. It then begins to matter less and less how you got the money and that you have the money. If, for instance, something happens and medical healthcare practitioners, our medical healthcare practitioners, Nigerian medical, are the highest paid in the world, more people will want to become medical healthcare practitioners. This is linear in a sense, but as it stands out now, the movers and the shakers are those that are in politics or are, attached to politics. Those are the people that they will follow. The musicians, the businessmen, all of them are somehow attached to politics. Those are the people that people are following. So everybody is going to gravitate towards, if we don't have that guiding principle, because the guiding principle is not there. We are all in survival mode. And for you to survive, you must play along.
Okay, thank you, Brother Louis and Brother Wisdom. I just want to ask you this question. No bad feelings. There was a guy that did very well in mathematics. There was another person that saw money on the road and returned it. These are values. They didn't get followers. But when we do, which are that one that they used to do, that they do in South Africa, forgotten.
It's big sister Nigeria.
Everybody follows. Does that show where our attention is? Does that show, what does that show about Nigeria and what we value?
So the thing is,
no. You know there should be differences of opinion. No grief for anybody. What you like is
Yes.
what I like. I agree. But I'm just saying, how come that fewer people like what the national value says we should like? Because if it was 50-50, then it's a balanced equation. Then we can say everybody is free to like what they like.
If the prize money for the person that won debates is 100 million and a new house and a new SUV and a media contract for a year, I believe that we would have more people interested. Yes. But because the prize money for winning mathematics competition is a year's supply of cowbell milk and a handshake, and possibly $1 million.
So, Brother Louis, in rounding up, let's begin to give a final thought. So, what do you think are the indicators to harness our values, to harness followership for these values. You see, because let's just begin to look at it. What are the attractants? Let's use that word. What are the attractants? What are the things the government? What are the things the civil society organization? What are the things Vox said? What are the things the people can do to be able to attract more followers for the values that are enshrined in the constitution? No, people are free. We are free Nigerians. If you like to be a Malian, you should be free to be. If you like to be anything that is not offensive to Nigeria, do you imagine that bandits even did giveaway and Nigerians were submitting their account number? Can you imagine? Kidnappers, they were doing giveaway and people were submitting account number for them to throw them money. So what are the things that we can do that will make us to hate evil in Nigeria and embrace good? And I mean, you can do anything you like to do. You can be anything you like to be, but there should be relativity. There should be, I mean, let's begin to, let me hear your thoughts on this. What can we do to be
Absolutely, sir. Asa, this is why I also follow you, because you've just done stakeholder mapping that people do in 1 week in a few seconds. So this is why I like to follow you. So that you've mentioned everybody that is involved. So I think that one of the things that we should start doing is a subtle but effective cultural re-engineering. And nothing so big. NOA, our friends and brothers and sisters, and even the people that are special advisors on media communications, can we have a partnership wherein all the channels of attention that exist in Nigeria are now places for where NOA and some of these people can pass the very good agenda of proliferating some of these values that we've spoken about. Without being too specific, if Nigerians watch 700 movies in a month, can 500 of those movies have instilled in them one or two of those values that we're looking at? In the movie scene, somebody wants to overtake with siren, the wife will slap him and say, "My friend, don't you know that number 2 of the Constitution, Kiniko, says that you should do something with integrity?" Off that distance. In the movie, it's a joke, but in the eyes of the people that are consuming it, they've learned something, that there's something in the Constitution that backs you not behaving like a rascal on the road. So I think we also listen to a lot of music. Can Whiskey throw in some lines, that will encourage us? Can these things be subtly embedded into our culture? The clothes that we buy, all this talking teas type of situation where they say, "I'm Nigerian and I love Nigeria because our land is green." Like those kinds of things. It's social engineering. Some people think it's unethical. Me, I think it's necessary. But so that we can create that very good vision for ourselves. Right now, we're just moving visionlessly. So we will need to create that vision. Either we infuse it into the stuff that we consume, because I know nobody is going to listen to if it's a declaration that we must all be. Like you said, sir, we are free to do anything that we want. So we need to engineer it. It shows like Big Brother. How can we engineer it from people that are watching Big Brother? So I think that's the first thing that we'll do. And the second thing that we'll do, in fact, I was listening to one of our mentors also, where he also said that, and interestingly, sir, is your son, Fola, where he said there's only one way that Nigeria can be better, is that we will just draw a line and say, "Oh yeah, from here, the rest of you people have been in the system, you have tested it, just live your life out. These remaining guys, we will have to show them something new." And he was serious about it. At least I didn't think he was joking. So that's another way. The guys that are coming up, is there a system that we can say, you know what, anybody born after 2025 has a perfect education? Anybody born after 2025, to a reasonable extent, cares more about Nigeria than their religion or what are those systems that we can bring into play? So for me, those are the two suggestions that I will use in closing for today's conversation.
Okay. Thank you for that. I hope when you are drawing the line, you'll not drop me out of the line, because I'm still hoping one day to become
I'm on your side of the line, sir.
to become the
I'm
chairman
on
of my
your side
local.
of the line.
I'm still warming up to be chairman of my local government, and from there I'll become senator, and then I'll become governor. Then maybe by 95 I will be president. So, so please don't draw the line. Anyway, so that's fantastic. So we look at that thought. We need to do some deliberate, intentional social re-engineering. We need to begin to escalate these values and ethics. It has to be in the face of Nigerians. We need to sing it, act it, read it, talk about it, let it be said in the bus, let it be said on the road. Let the bandits hear that it is not good to kidnap. Let everybody know, because the problem is that nobody knows what is right or wrong in Nigeria, and it's a shame. People do things, and when after they have finished it, you ask them, do you know what you have done is wrong? You say, I'm sorry. I say, I'm sorry, sir. Sorry for what? Sorry for not coming to work. And then just say, it's go slow. It's hold up. And then you must accept the apology because you are in Nigeria. I mean, we need to begin to, I don't know whether I'm talking too tough anyway, but we need to look at those values again and put it in the face of Nigeria. Brother Wisdom, what do you have to say?
Sir.
How do we change the narrative?
I think changing the narrative has to start with us, right? So how do we want the Nigeria of our dreams to play out? So it has to start with us, and it's not just going to be a 1 day thing or a 2 day thing. If you look at other great nations, if you look at China, if you look at America, if you look at India, for example, if you look at the UK, these people would have had years of intentional constitutional alignment, right? They've had years of a roadmap where everybody came together, sat down and decided that, oh, in 100 years' time, Nigeria should be debt free. In 100 years' time, Nigeria should have 3 major ports, right? And it's not because we are trying to keep all the revenue generation to one place. All the 3 ports should be working, and they should be working just fine. In 100 years' time, Nigeria should be able to explore crude and be able to refine 100% of the crude that we use, and export the refined product as well. In 100 years' time, Nigeria should have a public transportation system that actually works. Now, I've said a lot of things in 100 years' time. Now, imagine that since we returned back to democracy in 1999, the first president has said, you know what, I don't want to have big dreams. I just want to cure the transportation system. I'm going to spend the next 8 years ensuring that other things would happen. But my major achievement when I leave office is that transportation is sorted. The next person that came said, well done. Well done. Me now, I'm going to focus on the banking system. I'm going to make sure that in the next 8 years, by the time I leave office, Nigerians will have one of the best banking systems that we can ever experience. Now, that has not been the case. What we've seen is this person comes in with 10-point agenda. This one comes in with 20-point agenda. At the end of the day, the same flyer, I saw a flyer of Yakubu Gowon during the time of his election, and he was promising 3 things: steady power supply, infrastructure, and one other thing, unemployment, something. Sir, you will be shocked to realize that those same things that were promised during the time of Yakubu Gowon, those are the same things that we are still battling with today, and they are still promising us still today. So, Nigeria of our dream, we have to start by telling ourselves the truth. Like, we have to be really, really, really be honest. Do we want to change?
Do we really want to change, or we are okay with the system that is broken? Because I mean, for and this one is going to hit a little bit different, because we expect our workers and our staff to deliver a certain level of experience. Okay, that's great. Are we ready to match international standard and pay them commensurate to what they earn abroad? So why are our doctors leaving? Because their counterparts abroad are earning way better, working less. In short, it's crazy because in a workplace, if you demand for, let's say, for example, I go to the office, there's no Wi-Fi, and I say, we don't have Wi-Fi in this office. I'm, I might sound like I'm joking. Like, are you joking? What happened to your own internet? Why would I be using my internet to do your work? Why wouldn't there be water in the office? Yes, I'm talking to you. But I mean,
Now,
so no, there was an office we went to and there was no internet.
no, no, but
And you expect every
but if they don't have internet, you can go and look for job next door.
uh, oh, that is also that is also the case. So everybody needs to be held accountable. We want a higher level of, if we're able to hold our leaders to a higher standard of living, we as citizens should also be ready to pay our taxes. Have we paid
Good.
our taxes? Have we done our civic duties? Our civic duties is not just, oh, we expect our leaders to do this. We also have responsibility. But because we know that if we pay our taxes, they will chop the money. Let's chop it too. Let's use it to settle the problems we can see.
Now, in closing, I want to close here, even though we have there are
Now
five
we can
things
do
that
part two. We are not part two. There's part two. Part two.
there are five things the government has done in response to my question, and then I want to bring it up. The government have set up the five efforts of government to promote values. They have set up the National Orientation Agency, who are supposed to be doing civic education campaigns. I don't know whether they are doing or they are not doing, but the government has done their own bit. The government has also set up the NYSC, where postgraduates serve in different states to build unity and what do you call it? Unity and friendship. Now, the government, I don't know. I'm just going to give us one minute to respond what the government has done. I mean, the government has done their bit, because we can say they have not done well, but they have done their bit. They have also put civic education in the social studies to teach values. You know, I was asking somebody yesterday again. I said this. I was telling somebody that, just like one of us said, I don't know that these values exist. Then the person asked me, didn't he do civic education? Is it not inside the civic textbook in GS1? Yeah, you're supposed to have read it there. Why? How come? It's there. It's also. So I went to check and I found that it was there. True. And then number 4, the government also yearly they do what they call national honors and awards to reward integrity and service. So, do you think these things have lived up to the expectation of the government? Brother Wisdom. Oh yeah, shoot. Let's hear you. You are muted.
Okay, let me unmute. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, you said very nice initiatives. These things are very nice initiatives that the government has put in place. First, civic education, the National Orientation Agency, that we both know, and so
NYSC.
we don't have a lack of initiatives and policies that are supposed to be working. Key emphasis on supposed to be working. Because if we're going by policies and things that are supposed to be working, a lot of things should be working. So now, NYSC, you take people that barely have money and you send them to rural areas without provision for accommodation, without provision. You say you're paying them how much? 70,000 naira how they've increased 77,000 or thereabout. Before it was 18,000, then it went to 30,000. Let us be realistic. Like, let us sit down and be telling ourselves the truth. If I'm going to a new state to literally start my life afresh and for a whole year, and you're paying me 70,000, how do I survive? How do I take care of myself and impact value into whatever it is that I'm doing? So that's why you see a lot of people would we politicize their posting and go elsewhere. So that means the aim is not defeated because the government doesn't really care about me that much anyway. So I would rather go to somewhere that I would benefit and get good payouts and money. So that goes back to the fact that money becomes the overriding factor. Secondly, you just mentioned that the government does yearly honors and for integrity and whatnot. But over the years, it has been used as a tool to reward political loyalty and basically political loyalty. Very few times have we seen people that actually deserve it get it. There was somebody that got an award that's an honor that is only reserved for the vice president of the nation. That is not supposed to be. Not because I'm friends. So imagine tomorrow, well, if Louis becomes president tomorrow and he's my friend, I would also ask for that award. So because I've seen they've set a precedent for it. And these are dangerous precedents that we are setting that history would remind us of. And that's what we fail to understand. The moment we let something stand, we let something occur, it becomes, oh, it has happened before, it will happen again. And that is why we need to start cutting all of these excesses and nonsense off at the very beginning. Because the moment we let these things stand, it just goes on. Nigerians are known for, and let us just make it work. Let's just manage it. Let's just do it like that. And at least we got this one. At least we are seeing lights. At
Okay,
least we are
brother,
seeing.
is Brother Louis there?
Yes, I am,
Nothing,
sir. Quite a
nothing has
passionate
done.
take. Yes. What government what government has done is not working the way it should work. I mean, anybody that even if you've been to the UK once and you've gone into any of their tubes, you will immediately be able to complete see it, say it. You will immediately be able to complete sorted. You understand? This is social engineering. Anywhere somebody says see it, say it, you will respond sorted. And that will tell anybody that once they see something going wrong, as high as banditry or as low as somebody bullying somebody else, once you've seen it, you can say it. And they have the platforms
But
that
how,
work for that.
please, how
And
do
once
we
you've
put that
said it,
on
you've
top
done
of?
your own.
How do we put that inside Okada or Keke Marua?
Yes, we can't put it inside Okada or Keke Marua because we don't have adequate transportation systems. But however, we preach on the streets every morning across several streets with megaphone. So it's political will. I I don't know how else to put it. Is I don't just know. But
Where is
we don't
Nigeria
have
for
to
our
do see it, say it sorted.
don't get frustrated.
We don't have
Where
to.
is Nigeria for my dream? So
Sir, now it's time for how do we spread the message? You're asking how we do it. But when it's time for election, the villages that don't have light, they will ballot boxes will get to those places. Let's tell ourselves the truth. We are not ready because the same way they will complain, oh, there's logistics, there's insecurity. But during election, ballot boxes will get to those places that don't have lights. Results will be counted, or whatever, but ballot boxes will get there and come out. So it is the same political will that we have to make sure that election goes round across the nation in a day, over a couple of weeks. It's the same way we can use that same metrics to make sure that other things to get to the nooks and cranny of the nation. We are not just ready to tell ourselves the truth and do the right thing. That's the
Brother
truth. We
Louis, we
keep
are
just lying
listening
to
to you.
ourselves.
Let Brother Louis tell us how we are going to say something on Okada.
I mean, it's unfortunate that we are still using Okada as a viable means of transportation in this modern
You know, some people
age
in
where we should
Nigeria
be
have never
using.
boarded a bus since they were born till today. No government bus to
It's,
bus.
it's,
They have only
these
done
are the
Okada
issues.
and Keke Marua. all their
These
life,
are
all
the
their.
issues.
So how
These
do
are the
you
issues. Some people,
communicate with such people who are always on either they are trekking or they are on Keke Marwa? Yeah,
yes,
go
so
ahead now.
we need
I
to
listen
find,
to you,
because
brother Louis.
we need to find a way, because when we want to do something, we will do it. It's not, I may not have the direct actual answer here, but these people, they have SBMCs. These people have principals. These people have chieftains, people that have chieftaincy titles. They have kings. They have people, places where they gather. You understand? There's no bigger spender than the Nigerian state in Nigeria. This is a fact. So if they
Yes.
want to mobilize the resources to get it across, they will. I always am of the opinion that the National Orientation Agency, for this stage that we are in our country's life cycle, should be one of the highly funded agencies. If you ask me,
Okay.
just up there after health and education, we should have National Orientation Agency somewhere in there from the last three down. So if they are ready with the political will, they will do it. You understand? So is I don't have any direct answer, but
Okay.
this is where we
So
find ourselves today, sir.
I think it is a high time we go and look for this National Orientation Agency, because anywhere we take it, there we always end up with them. Anywhere we go, we still always end up with them. And I keep wondering how come they didn't respond to the letter we wrote. And then maybe I think we just carry Vox Populi to the front of their office and go and interview them in their garage. Maybe that will help us to be able to speak with them. But anyway, it's been 1 hour of talk with Brother Louis Akpoveso and Brother Wisdom, speaking about the Nigeria of my dream. We have been looking at how did we get to where we are now. I figure that that's going to help us to know what are the steps we need to take to migrate from where we are to where we want to be. So once again, it's been Vox Edu, your voice for education and social justice. Thank you and have a wonderful Thursday evening. So Brother Louis, we want to say bye-bye. And Brother Wisdom.
Thank you so very much, sir, for having us on the show.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
sir.
much.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye, sir.